Hey, good evening, everyone. I am sitting in my normal. This is not my normal place, and hopefully, I will keep my wireless connection down here because it just already popped out once. If it doesn't, then I will move spots. But I am down here because my house upstairs is a little chaotic right now as the countdown to the bat mitzvah is well underway. It's happening this weekend. I posted a picture of yet another whole bunch of challah that I baked tonight. And my parents got here today. Yay, always fun. And they're here now helping and getting everything together. And, we just, our whole family room, living room, dining room, that whole area is taken over with boxes that all have to be sorted through to figure out what stays here, what goes to where we're having our party on Sunday. It's a bit nutty around here, so which is why I'm hiding in my basement for a few minutes to come talk to you guys. And it's also why I'm a little bit later tonight than I would have liked to have been, right? My goal for this month had been to be in bed or off technology by now, but this week, it's just not happening. I got too much to do to make sure that all the details are taken care of. But happily for me, school has started again today. And I had the most amazing summer with my kids, so I am not I'm sort of sad about that because we had a lot of fun this summer. We went to Disney, we did all kinds of fun stuff, hanging out with them. It was really, really a fun summer with them. But the truth is, I'm glad school started a week earlier this year. First of all, because we have the bat mitzvah this weekend. But second of all, because I don't know about sorry, I keep losing my connection. I moved to a different spot in my basement. Yes, Randy, everyone is a creature of habit, but some people are creatures of habit a lot more. But it just felt so good today to just swing back into that same routine. And, it's sort of like riding a bike, right? You learn to ride a bike as a kid or whenever you learn to ride a bike, and you may not ride it for 20 years and you get right back on and it just goes again, right? Same thing. Well, that's really how I felt this morning. Everything just slid right back into place, exactly how I always did everything. And then obviously my schedule is off somewhat because I'm getting ready for this bat mitzvah, but it felt so good, right? But the thing is, so habits, this all ties into habits, right? I talk a lot about creating new healthy habits. That's what I teach my clients. The only way you're going to make change in your life, right, is if you create new habits, create new routines. So certain routines are really good, right? My routine, my school morning routine, it's awesome. I get up, I take care of the things I need to take care of. I go downstairs, I make my kids breakfast, right? I get them out the door, we walk to school, I walk home, and my day goes on, and then I take care of all the things I need to take care of during the day, and then I leave at the same time every afternoon to walk to go pick them up. Great routine, great habits, right? It fits, it flows. And when I was off of that routine for this summer, I just never, ever, ever felt like I clicked back in until this morning, and it just went smooth right in. That's an amazing power of routine and of habit, right? But when you have a bad habit, those are good habits, those are okay. But when you have a bad habit that controls you like that, that's where there's a problem, right? So when your bad habit loop might be that you walk in the door in the afternoon and you go straight for the pantry and you go and you eat stuff that you shouldn't be eating, right? Bad habit loop, right? But the same way the good habits hang on, so do bad habits, right? When somebody says, I need to break a habit, right? I've got to, I want to go break this habit. You can't break a habit. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You can replace a bad habit with a good habit, right? And so that it becomes, and then when you do it more and more and more, that new habit takes over. But unfortunately, those old bad habits can sneak back in at any point in time if you're not really careful. And that's really what I work a lot with my clients about, is how to stay on top of that. So creating those new habits, creating new habit loops, creating new sets of routine, because as Randy said, everyone is a creature of habit, right? We are. We're all creatures of habit in some way, shape, or form, some more than others. Some, it really controls us more than others. But that security of that habit is what keeps us feeling comfortable, right? That's what keeps us feeling good. So when those old bad habits, they're what we know. They're what's easy to slide right back into, right? So it takes work to create new healthy habits. It takes work to create a new habit loop, right? I'll tell you, I am already dreading next year when Madeline is not at Burton with Elliot, and I don't know where she'll go to school next year. She may go to Norb with Emma. She may we may send her somewhere. I have no idea. This is right. Today was the first day of school. But my head is already thinking ahead to that of, oh my gosh, that rhythm is going to change next year, totally change. And I'm going to have to get myself into a new habit loop. And it's changed before, right? But certain things, circumstances change. When those things change, right? When a kid changes school, so your daily habits, your daily routine changes because of that, you don't have a whole lot. You pick back up and it doesn't matter, and you're not going to fall back into those old routines. But when your habits that you're trying to avoid are, include things that can pop back up, right? Emotional eating, stress eating, emotional spending, stress spending, right? Those are the biggies that I hear a lot when I'm working with clients. Those two things: emotional eating or stress eating. Oh, here goes my kitty cat. And same with finances being out of whack, right? Those are the big things, because that's usually people's vices, or drinking or other things. But whatever your vice is, when you remove that, right? If you aren't constantly working and making something to make a change, right, that it can pop back in, right, then that's a problem. And that's when we have to really work to change that. And that's what I help people do, right? That's what I do as a coach. And that's what I use my coach for, right, to help make that real change, right? So that when those things do flare back up, because they will, right, then you have resources, you have tools to fall back on to make sure that those changes stick, right? We were made, it's really amazing how we were made. We were made so that those habits don't go away, right? And in certain ways, like I talked about this morning, I just slid right back into my routine, right? Learn to ride a bike, you slide right back into that routine. That's great. We don't want habits like that to go away, which that's a really good thing. But on those bad habits, we need to find other things we need to find to replace them. So if that's something that you really struggle with, reach out. Let me know, right? Because that's something I can really help you with, creating new healthy habits, a new habit loop, right? To replace those old ones. But you got to know, when you replace them, they're not going to be gone for good. And it's going to be something that you're going to have to work towards and really pay attention to. Because, right, we talk so much. People ask me all the time with my weight loss program, right? Okay, you lost all this weight, Lesley. That's great. That's awesome. But why do so many people lose weight and then they put it back on, even when they do your program, right? Do people put the weight back on after my program? Some people do. The people that put the weight back on after my program, my metabolism's not any different than theirs, right? I'm not any better than them. You know what happens? They fell back into those old habits. Those old habits got control over them slowly, and they didn't stick to using the coaching, right? They didn't stick to using the coaching. They didn't stick to the resources and the tools that we provide for them as coaches. I actually spoke to someone today who went through exactly this, right? She had done the program. She had done awesome on the program, right? And I was not her coach, but she reached to me because she wanted some guidance, right? Because she had put the weight back on and she was upset. And I said to her, well, when was the last time you spoke to your coach? And she went, I don't know. It was a long time ago. And I said, okay, well, that's your first step, right? Your first step is to pick up the phone and call your coach back, right? And say, help. I need some help to get back on, to help me get back to the new healthy habits that I created, right? And so we started talking through. I said, what were some of the healthy habits that you created while you were on program? And she rattled them off. And I said, and which ones of those are you still sticking to? And she gave me some. She did not go back to all of her old bad habits. She went, and I said, okay, and which ones have you not kept? And she rattled those off. And I said, okay. I said, so that's where you need to work with your coach to help you get back into those things, because you didn't put the weight back on because the program didn't work. And she said, oh no, she said, the program works. She said, this program's the best program out there. I said, right. She said, I put the weight back on because I stopped doing what I was supposed to be doing. I said, right. Exactly. That's what happens, right? It wasn't intentional, right? What happens is, with this program or anything else, right, you find the little wiggle room. You get to you lose the weight, you get to your healthy weight, and you're on your optimization plan. I'm talking about this in the way my program works. You get to your optimization plan and you start working and you're doing great and you're following it spot on. And then you tweak it a little bit, right? And you don't have any bad results. Well, okay, so if I tweaked it there and I didn't have any bad results, I'm going to keep tweaking it just that little bit. And then that little bit becomes a little bit more, becomes a little bit more, becomes a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, you have strayed way off from your plan and you don't understand why you're 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds up, right? You went back to those old bad habits. You let those old things control you and bring you back in. And that's the power of it, right? That's why, as a coach, when my clients reach their healthy weight, I don't just say, yay, congratulations, good luck, right? You got this now. Because we don't got this. None of us have it. And that's the one thing. Don't be shy about that. Whatever you're fighting through, don't try to do it alone. Because when you try to go at it alone, it's so much harder. So much harder, right? And that's why we do this together, right? Because none of us have got it. None of us have got it. I don't got it, right? I'm sitting here at a healthy weight, but not because I don't put the effort in, right? I put a lot of effort in and I use the tools that I have because I know there are days that I just don't got it. There are days that I want to eat the house. There are days, and some days I actually, the food wins, right? Because we're all human. We're all human. And that is part of human nature, is that old habits are going to rear their ugly heads again. So, I hope that this resonates with you a little bit. And if you want to bounce something off of me, if you need a listening ear, please feel free, reach out. I would love it if you could start sharing my videos. Help get other people know that they don't have to be alone in this, right? In whatever their journey is. So if you see this and you like this and you think that somebody else may benefit from it, please, give a share. Also since I know not many people are on now, you can give a hashtag live, or you can, if you are picking this up live, because there are a couple people on live who I can't see. It's not showing me my little bubbles at the top. Or if you catch this in a replay, you can do a hashtag replay, so I can know who is watching. But I hope you have a great night. I am going back upstairs to finish up what I got to do tonight before I can go to bed to get ready for this awesome bat mitzvah. So I will see you back here tomorrow, hopefully not quite as late. Have a great night. Bye.